Hello and welcome to Edinburgh Watch Company. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video I just wanted to talk watches with you. I know many of you have kindly taken the time to watch probably hundreds of videos that I've shot over the last few years, and I'd love you to come back and watch more videos we've done in the future. I'm often, however, asked and commented about the watch I wear, and I've worn a few watches through the years. And today I just wanted to have a chat with you about my daily wearer and why I wear it and why I absolutely love this watch so much. And I'm sorry for those of you that are watching this that this is such a hard watch to get, and I'm just very, very lucky and very honoured that I had a lovely customer back in August last year that let me buy this watch off him, and it's barely been off my watch since. So you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? What is he wearing? So the watch I'm wearing today is the Rolex Daytona Cosmograph. A watch that needs no introduction, a watch that has been on the market for many years, of course made famous by Paul Newman. In its early days it was a watch that was actually not a great seller and quite an easy watch to get, but my love of the Daytona probably went back to the 1990s, and around 2003 I was lucky enough to buy my first Daytona stainless steel white dial, and it was just, I can remember that feeling of going into the shop and just feeling it was just an amazing feeling just to have a Daytona Cosmograph. And through the years I've had a black one and a white one, and of course since starting the business I've seen all sorts of Daytonas coming through in steel and gold and platinum and all sorts. But the one for me to wear every day is a steel one. It gets quite a bit of use, it gets 3 scratches here and there, but that's just, I think, living with it. So ceramic Daytona, I don't need to tell you much about it. I guess many of you will know this watch came out I think around about 2016, introduced as an enhancement to the classic Daytona with the introduction of that ceramic bezel. Of course in 2 colours, the black or the white dial. The one I wear is what nicknamed the Panda dial, which I think is lovely with the black sub dials on it, and it's just a really, really good all-rounder. The ceramic bezel, I think for me, practically means you give it a little knot, you haven't got to worry. And the earlier Daytonas with the sort of steel polished bezels were quite easy to mark. But it's just it's a lovely watch to wear. I think it's, well, of course it's very accurate with the new superlative chronometer movement, performing to within plus or minus 2 seconds a day. The Oyster bracelet, again, I find a really, really comfortable bracelet to wear. I think the benefit of that easy link, for that slightly warmer climate, which we do occasionally get here in Scotland, is quite a cool feature to have. But it's the look and it's the feel. It's not actually too chunky to wear. I've got an 8-inch wrist, but it's kind of quite thin to wear on the wrist compared to so many of the sort of sports chronographs I see, and I think they've done really, really well with the movement that's in it to keep it really quite a compact watch. But I still feel the same about it now as I did when I first got it back in August. I often look at the watch to tell the time, and I just get mesmerised by the look of the dial, and I have to look back at my watch a few seconds later to actually try and what was the actual time. I love the actual dial on it. So let me let you have a slightly closer look at it here. And I guess why am I doing this video today? Well, Jonathan, I know you're watching this video, but I've got this really lucky customer who's got a white Daytona just like this, and he must have an incredible relationship with his dealer because he has recently got a black one as well. So he has a really difficult choice each day to decide whether he wears his white or his black one. But listen, I'm delighted for you, Jonathan. You've got 2 such beautiful watches there, and I know you'll be the envy of all my customers. But he's been nipping my head to do this video, so that's why I wanted to talk about this today, just to let you just see this watch close up and all just the lovely features about it. But I think just look at this contrast of the black ceramic there with the engravings on it here. And that's the great thing about it too, because I've seen many of the Daytonas come in and you can't really polish the bezel on the classic Daytona because you would take away the tachymeter engraving there, and if you get little scratches and dents on it, you can't really polish them out. But this one is pretty well as hard as nails. Lovely sapphire crystal there. I must admit, I do miss the date function on the watch, but hey, we've all got phones that will actually tell us that. But these sub-dials, I really like the way they've done that, because on the older white ones, you had that sub-dials with a silver rim on them, and they were quite sort of blinging in a way, and I think the black is just a really lovely contrast, and of course goes back to the earlier Zenith movement Daytonas in the sort of look. But the rest of it, it's so crisp. It's such a crisp dial to wear, and you can really wear it with anything. Of course, this has got the Rolex inner Rehort dial on it. Takes you down to 100 meters. I can't say I use these chronograph functions very often, apart from doing an odd bit of cooking and perhaps timing an egg, but hey, I love the look of it. Takes you down to 100 meters with this triplock crown that screws on the inside of it. That just gives you a perspective there of thickness. It really is incredibly thin to house an automatic chronometer movement. That little Daytona there in red, it's just, everything is just so subtle about it. So here is a well-used bracelet. Look at all the scratches on it. I can't help doing that, but hey, it's being enjoyed, and it's kind of smiles per miles with it. Lovely clasp as well, solid steel clasp there. Of course, it features this Easy Link as well, which you can just pull out there. Again, if you need a little bit more space on the wrist, but it's just an absolute cracker. So to my customer who very kindly let me buy this off you, I thank you so much. It is barely off my wrist. To those of you out there waiting for a Daytona, just stick with it. It's absolutely worth the wait. If you are a bit impatient, then the only way to get one is by paying a premium for it. I can't deny I've been offered a fantastic premium on this, but it's not always about the money in the watch. It's about the enjoyment you get for it. And while I would love the profit margin that would come from selling it, I know I'd miss it, and that's why I haven't sold it. And it's why every day, practically, I wear this. I've got a beautiful Pepsi Rolex as well, which I got from another friend of mine, and I sometimes wear that, but I get, again, lots of beautiful watches coming in through the company that I put on and I wear, but it's not long before I'm reaching back to put this watch back on. I absolutely love it. So that for me is my Rolex Daytona. This is the first video I've kind of shot since I started just talking watches, and I guess it's something I'd love to do a little bit more, and I'd love to hear from you actually, that what watches you'd like to see, and I'm happy to go and grab a watch out of a collection and talk about it. And like you watching this, I'm absolutely passionate about watches. I absolutely love them. It's not about the expense, it's just about the look and the feel. It's that absolute pleasure you get just by looking at a watch. It's not a sports car that's tucked up in the garage you get to drive in the weekends, or your motorhome, or your caravan. I don't know how many times a day I look at this watch to tell the time, but it is absolutely the most beautiful piece. So there we are. Jonathan, this one's for you. Thanks for watching this video today. I'll have loads more videos coming along soon. Take care. Bye bye.